I think they might have lied to me, the other students, and now everything's starting to make a bit more sense. Okay. It's a lovely day, and you, I believe, are planning to meet at the docks and talk to Ton Black Cavern, who is essentially sort of the union leader of the dock workers there.
Yes, that was my plan.
So as you all arrive, he doesn't really have an office. He's sort of always wandering about. And this time you find him out in the middle of things. There's this huge wooden crane creaking and groaning in the cold air as they're shifting what looks to be these huge crates. They're much larger than you. They're probably about 20 feet by 20 feet, these crates coming off big, huge boats in the docks and dropping them down. Well, not dropping them, putting them very gently down onto the cobbles on the dockside, where people are sort of taking them, and they're opening the top and they're taking out smaller crates from inside and shipping those off to various other places. He's sort of standing there at a very sort of high perch, looking out and pointing at things, gesturing and shouting like, "Oi, oi, oi! Move that one! Check the bloody tension! Check the tension!" And just generally shouting about everything. And he hasn't spotted you, but you're welcome to approach this. It's not like he's got guards or anything like that. And yeah, it's just a general bustly day.
I'm going to approach Tom and ask him if he has a moment.
Moments are pretty precious around here. What do you need?
I may have found one of your missing people, but I do need you to confirm it's him.
All right, where is he?
I mean, it's less him and more his corpse.
Well, fine. I mean, they were dead before they left, so I don't mind.
Do you have somewhere more private we can go?
Fine. I'll find a warehouse somewhere. Meet you in what? 2 hours? 3 hours? I've got to deal with this. This shipment comes in. It's every week, but it clogs up the entire fucking docks unless it's taken care of.
Sure. About which warehouse do you think it'll be? We'll meet you there.
And he says, same place we met last time. It's not being used that much at the moment. And then as his eyes suddenly go massively wide and his face goes completely white, you hear this horrendous creaking and snapping noise behind you as the crane buckles under the weight of what it is carrying. It twists and tilts to the side and sends this massive crate that it's holding straight across the docks through about 20 people. And there is a as each one that is hit turns to salt. And he is just standing there, his face completely white, shaking. He's just stuck there, unsure what to do. Eventually, something just snaps in him, and he bolts straight towards the commotion. There are still people who are knocked to the side and who haven't died, who are, concussed. There are people who are injured and trapped under debris, and he is just sprinting towards it with no plan particularly to assist. What are you three doing?
I start triaging the injured.
Okay, give me one medical check, and we'll say that's your sort of general progress.
Yay.
Meanwhile, Liros, what are you up to?
I'll see if anyone's stuck on it or anything that I can move off them.
Okay, there is definitely a lot of debris around, and there's a lot of shouting going on, so you can probably find someone pretty quick. Roll me a perception check for how quickly you're able to find someone, basically, because this is very much a disaster zone right now.
I will be helping Liros with this.
You'll be helping Liros? Okay, you roll your perception as well, and we'll just take the highest.
Oh, okay. I thought there would be help action, so I was about to re-roll. Okay.
You want a rolling perception in this case, I think.
I have a +1 perception.
Never mind.
I have +2.
Well, in that case, no. I mean, you can take it as a help action and re-roll if you want. What was your medical? Sorry, Grounded.
17.
17. Okay, that's going to be really good. So you're going to very quickly assess the situation. You're able to find the people closest to bleeding out, and you're able to, well, not bleeding out, but the closest to dying with the most serious injuries, and you're able to treat those first. And so you're actually able to stop anyone else dying. at this point. People are critical. People are not going to be doing very well at all, but they're not dying right now. What was your perception roll there, Leros?
With the advantage, that was 19, sorry.
Okay, you're very, very quickly able to spot some people. You can hear the shouting. Can I have a raw strength check, please, to lift them out?
18.
18, good. Yep, you're fine. You lift up the debris, and Eao, you're able to pull out the dock worker who's stuck under there while Leros is lifting it. And you're able to continue this process, and you're actually able to save quite a few people. There are more people who die in this process. You can see the sort of puffs of black smoke sort of surround you, and it is starting to sort of clog in your lungs. This acrid smoke smells very sulfuric as well, but there are more people dying, but you have saved a lot of people today.
Can I sort of try and catch some of the smoke in a bottle and analyse it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's perfectly fine. You can do that. I don't think that would need any check particularly to capture it. You could probably just turn around very fast, and you'd be able to capture some, especially as you have proficiency in alchemy supplies. I think that would be fine. You've probably got a tool there for that. So add one flask or bag, I suppose, of death smoke, whatever. You don't know what it is just yet, but you'll be able to analyze that later. Tom Blackcavern, once this all sort of starts to settle down and people are getting seen by medical professionals, because there are medics at the dock. They're not, proper like clerics or anything, but they are, proficient healers who are able to use bandages and poultices and that sort of thing. They are starting to appear and deal with the problem as well, and sort of starts stabilizing people. Tom Blackcavern comes up to you and says, "You didn't have to help, so I'm not good at saying things like this, but thank you."
Does something like this happen often with the cranes?
No. This is, you get accidents. You always get accidents. Somewhere this busy, not like this.
Can I inspect the crane real quick to see if there's anything I can...
Roll me an investigation check.
Can I help with my knowledge of smithing?
Yeah, I think that'd be fine, yeah. You can both roll we can do this as a group check if you would like. So, Grounded, are you also having a look?
Yeah.
Okay, so investigation checks from Eao and Grounded. Leros, can you give me a Smith's Tools proficiency check with intelligence as your modifier?
Sure.
Mine is a 15 plus. I'll give you the numbers once this PDF opens up.
I rolled a 1, which is a 5.
Okay. It's going to depend on Eao.
That's a 17.
Okay, that's enough actually. So together you are able to work it out. So you're looking at the crane, you're looking at the debris, and you're looking for what looks, I suppose, between what looks like natural snapping that happens when a crane catastrophically fails, and what might have been caused beforehand, or what might have been the snapping point. And you're very quickly able to determine that, looking down, sort of looking at the way it fell and how it went. The initial problem were these great big tension cables that come off the sides and sort of hold the whole thing in place. One of those had become extremely weak. Looking at it, looking closely, you can see bite marks on it.
What sort of bite marks are they?
Roll me a medicine check, please.
Boy, I forgot if these are hyena bite marks.
I would wager they are more likely
again.
human.
Was that a 1 again? Did you say?
That's 17.
Oh, 17. Oh, that's much better. You can definitely tell that these are human teeth. Or humanoid teeth, more accurately. Could have been a dwarf's teeth. Could have been halfling. You're not sure. Something involving molars more so than, loads of big canines anyway.
I think you may have been sabotaged today.
I think it was...
Someone found a weaker, more strained cable, and they started biting through it.
Bloody worms.
It looks like this is people bite mark.
People?
We encountered someone that might be related.
Before we continue, we should probably move somewhere more private to continue this.
Okay, and yeah, he gests you to follow him quickly. He walks away. He points at a few things as he's going. He's like, and shouts some barked instructions to the various people running around, but very quickly sort of just drags you down an alleyway, essentially, at this point, because they haven't got time to, clear out an office. He's just dragging you down an alleyway and says, "All right, tell me everything. What do you know? What are you keeping in here?"
And Eao's going to pull the zombie corpse that she grabbed out of the hat.
So his face has gone white again because he was not expecting you to pull an entire corpse out of a hat. That is not something people ordinarily do. And he's just
do you recognize this person? Is this one of your missing people?
Maybe. He sort of starts to look a bit closer because the skin is now, it's mottled. A lot of it's rotting away. It's hard to tell. And he's like, Jones? We had a worker by the name of Jones. Died 3 months ago now? It does look like him.
Yes. Last night when we were investigating Fish Street, we saw something enter the sewers. It looks like somebody down there has been collecting corpses and turning them to zombies.
Was this one of the corpses that disappeared?
Morian's beard. What on earth? Why would you take my bloody dock workers? Why after they're dead? You probably just hire them for 10 silver.
And if someone was sabotaging the crane by chewing through the wires, a zombie would probably make the most sense for that.
It seems a bit
there's convoluted.
Why not just use a saw or a knife or an axe? Why go through the trouble? Done that up, does it? But then I guess stranger things have happened.
After we were done meeting with you today, we were going to head back down there to hopefully apprehend him. I didn't realize something like this would happen.
Well, if whatever's been stealing my men is down in them sewers, they've got a good 18 more bodies now.
If we go there early enough, those bodies might still be dead.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how this works. I just lift things, move them about. It is not a complex job.
I mean, your job is certainly more complex than you give it credit for. You lead these men. They listen to you, and they're going to need you.
All right, I've got to get back. You take that bloody cleric into the sewers and get him to sort it out.
That's where we're on our way to.
All right, and he takes a deep breath and he looks at Jones again, and he looks like he's on the verge of vomiting right now, and he's like,
nothing bad.
I don't need this, and is just muttering that constantly as he heads back to the fray. But as he gets a little bit closer, some instinct just switches in his head, and he starts shouting again, getting people moving and organizing them. So yeah, you are currently, I assume, heading to Fish Street again.
Yep.
Yep.
Unless anyone else has
catching our cleric first, of course.
I'm going to assume Lisann is going to meet you there, just because a brief bit of roleplay where you try and go and find the cleric will...
we
find Lisann and there's another...
Before we go in the sewer, we will make sure we have Lisann.
Yes, you've got Lisann with you. She's very excited. She's brought more snacks. Although this time she's put them in little waterproof bags because, sewers.
I'm already eating the snacks.
You're already in the snacks, yeah. You're like 2 bags in and getting on with it. Okay, so...
Don't suppose I could mark my thing of snacks down as a thing of rations?
Tell you what, yes, because rations don't really matter in the game when you have... Actually... Grounded, you can get rations as well. I was just thinking that it was Corin doing it, but no, you were the one feeding everyone. Would have been normally Corin's job, but yeah, you're able to feed everyone whenever you're traveling, so usually you don't need it. But yeah, you can mark that down as rations. They might not last as long as jerky, for example, but yeah, no, they'll last a little bit. It's mostly like peanuts and stuff like that, so...
I'm going to put my bag next to, attach it to the rope that I have for my barrel.
Okay.
It's currently empty, but it's still with me.
You've just been carrying this massive barrel with you at all times?
Yeah, it's over the shoulder like a mailbag.
Okay, fair enough. Who needed a bag of holding when you had that? Going around like a turtle.
Whole, I assume.
I mean, it's a liquid barrel. It's not like it's not an oil barrel. It was for wine or beer or something.
I know. Okay, so you end up back at the sewers. There is obviously a big crate over the entrance, so you're able to see it quite easily. It looks like no one's disturbed it, but of course, with sewers there are multiple entrances to those things. It would not have been difficult.
Honestly, with the mess of a note we wrote last time, I don't think anyone wants to touch it.
That's true, actually. You did leave some interesting notes. But yeah, so I'm going to say, obviously you're all able to you're able to move the box quite easily and lift the grate again. Sunlight streams down into the sewer. You can't see anyone down there. Looks like it's all right for now. Are you all climbing down, or are you throwing the cleric in again?
I mean, I'll let her climb down.
Cleric is a little less excited for adventure than she was at the end of yesterday. She's sort of after a rest and a bit of introspection and talking to her god. Well, talking at her god. I don't think Morian ever replies. Not to her anyway. Has said more words to Ruzad than has said to her. But she climbs down a little nervous again in the fresh light of day now that the adrenaline's out of her. But she'll probably be all right in a bit.
Yeah. I pick her up and just jump down.
Okay. Spoof. 3-point hero's landing with cleric in one arm, and the rest of you climb down. Bad news.
I'm going to take my spear, like my glaive, and ask you. Don't suppose you know the light cantrip?
For the purposes of this, I'm going to say no, because I can't be asked to look up a cleric spell list. But I'm going to say she doesn't anyway, because she's quite incompetent.
What do you mean? She's amazing.
No. She's like, no, not light. No, I can do protection from neutral and neutral.
I need protection for myself.
I can do sending. I'm good at sending. That's where you pick up a brick and throw it, right?
Okay.
With a note attached.
Yes.
That's what sending stones are, right?
No, not at all.
Similar, but not quite.
I think they might have lied to me, the other students, and now everything's starting to make a bit more sense. Okay. You all climb down, and the first thing you notice is the crystal that is ahead of you is lit again.
I'm going to hit that, and...
Can I see anything around that might control the crystal?
No. Well, I mean, I could have you roll a perception check, but I've already told you the answer. No. You can't see anything that looks like it could control the crystal or stop it. You do know... Tell you what, roll me an Arcana check. And I'll let you know what you might know.
Quite sure that's just +1, but yeah. 18.
18. Okay, so you do know that with spell traps that are left behind by wizards and the like, you know that often they have conditions that cause them to trigger, and that's how they stop them from attacking themselves. So they can be attack anyone who gets close unless they say a password, or attack anyone who gets close unless their alignment is something, or attack anyone who gets close unless they're me. So it's quite possible they've set something like that.
I recommend you all go upstairs.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Leros, the one with the lowest hit points, is about to...
Do something stupid, yes.
I mean, you also know it is lightning damage, so anything you've got to mitigate that might help. You know it is a crackling beam of lightning, and some of you might know how lightning works, let's put it that way.
I've been struck by lightning a few times.
You've been struck by lightning bolts.
0 times.
I know. I remember. We had a bit of a lightning problem on the spires, and I know that you can actually block it by either being a poor conductor, giving it somewhere else to flow.
Absolutely, you would have faced lightning storms a lot on the top of the spires. Like, you would have been a very good target. Any metal up there would have been a real problem. Or useful, depending, obviously you could have had lightning rods up there, and with the Aaracokra, just like a load of spears stuck in the ground or something. That information may well help you there.
Okay. Does anyone have anything made of metal?
10 foot though.
I have a bunch of knives.
I've got a 10-foot pole of metal.
Yes, but you're attached to that 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
If I drag one end by the ground, it will be grounded. Not you, but
That may
Can I
not
borrow
work
your
as
spear
well as you're hoping.
how far away are we from the crystal right now?
You're about 15 feet. Last time, you remember it triggered when you got within 10 feet.
Okay, can I try and borrow Leros' spear?
No.
Jump forward. Oh.
It disappears when it gets further than 5 feet from me.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
In that case, I take out my crowbar, my
Don't get
hunting
close.
trap.
I have a different plan. Please.
What is your plan?
I'm gonna blast the shit out.
That could work.
It might.
Make sure you're not in the range in case it does not. If you hear me yell out in brain, you can probably go back down.
5 feet.
Yeah. You're gonna just all climb up the ladder again. Lisann's climbing the ladder now, like.
Follow her example, please.
Before I do anything, I jab my crowbar into the wall and put the hang the hunting trap on it, just to create a makeshift lightning rod.
My help, yeah. Okay. Leros, what spell are you casting to do this?
Eldritch Blast.
Okay, I'm just checking, because you do have a spell specifically for breaking items, so it's up to you.
Yes, I do, but that also costs more.
It does.
While I can do a lot of Eldritch Blast.
Oh, you can.
But can you
absolutely
put a
can.
in your health?
Yes.
I will be behind the
50 gold
rod.
pieces per 2d4 plus 2, I believe, is the price that you can put on your health. Okay, so you're going as far back as you can because you've got a long range and you are casting Eldritch Blast. Okay, roll me. It's 2 attack rolls you do by now, I believe, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, roll me 2 attack rolls. As the golden crackling energy sort of sparks in your fingers and you get rid of those bolts.
22 and 23.
That's going to be enough to hit a crystal, yeah. I was really just checking for ones, basically. Okay, and they slam straight into the crystal. Roll me damage, please.
And this agent be on an electric crystal.
15 points total.
15 points total, force damage, which very little has resistance to. And that does shatter the crystal. It sort of jitters for a moment. The tip of it sparks, and then it shatters from the tip backwards and ripples into little shards that remain floating in the air around the crystal, but have gone inert now, so they're not glowing like they were before.
I knock on the ladder to let everyone know that it's okay.
Okay.
But are you dead?
I'm not dead. Calm down now.
Okay.
I'm afraid we were going to have to change your name again to Black Mane.
I mean, that's what happened after the first lightning strike.
Yeah. Okay.
I take my crowbar and hunting trap back.
To give a
just
reminder
discovered
of
that naming myself after the color of my mane might not be the most useful way to name myself.
No. To give you all a reminder of what you're facing at the moment, so you are in a long sewer that heads in a straight line towards a makeshift wall through which the water is able to pass through. It looks quite sort of crumbly and sort of slapdash, like it's not been made by professionals, let me put it that way. Whereas to the left of you, there is just past that crystal that you've just destroyed, there are 2 archways that go into the same room. That room is the one which had a giant frog statue with 2 big gems where you faced a lot of undead before. There may well be more undead waiting for you there now. Certainly the necromancer will have had time to raise more dead in the interim. And then past that, you know that there is a large room with a lot of undead on slabs, which is where the necromancer appeared to be working when you arrived and then promptly left.
So, want me to make some noise, or...?
Wait, maybe we should gas ahead. I can turn myself or someone else invisible.
That is a good shout.
Yeah?
Meanwhile, I'll take my crowbar to the makeshift wall and see if I can... Quiet.
Okay.
Do some more quiet work than shatter on the wall.
Okay, so the corridor stops at a wall of misshapen brick held together with some slapdash mortar. And the water at your feet is able to trickle through the cracks in the stonework. If you would like to try and break through it, roll me a raw strength check, please. Because you're using a crowbar, you can have advantage, of course.
Can I assist you?
Well, it'd be advantage
No, I
anyway.
already have advantage. That's going to be 14.
It's not budging.
Okay, can I try? I've got my own crowbar.
Yeah, I mean, you can always use the same crowbar. You don't have to have each one.
I mean, technically, that would make the work a little easier if we both went each one.
Hey, you know what? It might lower the strength check, DC.
I'll still keep working, but I'll let the grounded roll.
That's a 6, and I rolled 2 4s.
No, no, it's not budging. I'm afraid it's not budging. It's making sort of cracking noises as you work at it, but it's not really going anywhere.
Fair enough.
Why are we using physical labor? Don't you have magic?
I have specifically a spell for this, but it's noise. Let's go take a look, maybe. Try not to get caught. Should be easier when you're invisible.
Okay.
Do you want to go or shall I go?
I think we can both go early.
Okay.
If we're invisible.
I can only make one of us invisible. Yeah, I can only cast it as a 3rd level spell, so I'll go then.
Okay. So you turn yourself invisible, and you're creeping around the corner to where that massive... to where the massive frog statue is. So as a reminder of what you see, the archway here reveals a larger room with vaulted ceilings enveloping a row of surface level grates through which light from the world above streams in, and this time it actually does because it's daytime. So bathed in this daylight is a large statue of a frog. Its eye sockets are empty. 2 piles of bloody remains sit in each corner of the room, dusted in pink salt piles. The tiles beneath them are drenched in brackish blood, but most of their bodies are nowhere to be seen.
Please guess up to use my mic.
I'd give you inspiration, but you already have it.
I mean, there's been a long rest.
Oh no, that is an invisibility spell. Oh no, I've given Bree inspiration for something else in between sessions.
Oh, okay. Not puns this time, or
no? There was a letter. It was put in character. I don't know if you saw it.
I did. Yes, I keep noticing that grounded misspells everyone.
Hey, can I take a closer look at the pile of souls?
Yes, absolutely. Give me a perception check, please.
20!
One. Excellent. Okay, so what you find here, buried in the salt, there is a blood-stained leather pouch. It was difficult to see, actually, because the blood has sort of made it roughly the same color as the salt that it's buried in. But yeah, you find it very quickly. Opening that, you find 2 potions of healing inside. You also find a blood-stained, crumpled letter. The letter is it's an official note. It appears to be some sort of official orders by the local Karaki guard to check out strange goings-on in Fish Street.
I wonder if they might be a bit more inclined than usual to help us out here.
We both know the answer to that now.
Well, maybe I should just grab that idiot, what's his name, and make him come with us.
You could. That might be his corpse. You never know.
Can I identify the corpse?
There's not enough matter left, basically. There are this sort of, you're looking at like fragments of skin, and the rest of it, like the actual main body, appears to have gone and disappeared away, much like the other corpses have, leaving behind only bits that have been essentially severed from the original.
Hey, can I see a trail of blood or anything?
The blood trail does head south. It then gets into the sewer water, where from then on, because it's flowed away, you can't follow it. It probably goes to that room you were briefly in before. At best you can tell, that's probably where whatever caused this went.
Does the frog still have any new gems in its eyes, or?
No, the gems were taken. I believe Resides got them at the moment, or possibly Eao has them. I can't quite remember who's got them, but someone's got them.
Okay.
Rose has them.
Do I know what the frog might be, or?
Looks like a statue. It's not. It doesn't look like any. Well, roll me a history check. Actually.
14.
14. No, you would not be aware of the significance of a frog statue in the sewers.
Hey,
I didn't pay enough attention to that yesterday. Can I take a look from where I'm standing at the frog?
Yeah, over.
Does it have historical significance? So that would immediately be aware of.
Would you know about this? Let me think.
I know this is not a dungeon.
I believe that your tutors would have considered this below them and below you when teaching you.
Okay, fair enough.
You will probably discover that later, and why it's beneath you, but it probably is not something your tutors would have deigned to teach you.
Okay, fair enough.
You could still roll if you happen to have learnt it at some point, but you won't get the benefit of your tutorship for expertise.
For the expertise, I meant the...
Or advantage, whichever one it was.
Would you consider this Arcana or History?
History.
Okay, that is going to be a 17.
Okay, with a 17, you actually do know that... You know that these sort of statues are... Well, who makes a statue of a frog? Someone who reveres frogs?
Ninjas?
No, those are turtles.
I thought ninjas had the whole thing with the frogs and the nails.
No, but you do know of one race that reveres large frogs. So you think that it may not be anymore, as it certainly seems to be filled with undead, but at one point this may have been a makeshift shrine of the bullywugs.
Oh. I guess next time we see the bastard, we can ask, what do you mean you've been here first? Where are the bullywugs?
But Grounded, you should probably get to scouting ahead a bit more.
Okay, so I just peek my head around the corner into the next room, where the undead were.
Okay, the undead are still there, lining each side on the massive altars there. The necromancer, or whatever it is, appears to be there as well. He's sort of... roll me a perception check. There's something not quite right about him.
God, if he's become a zombie or something, a leash or something. 13.
13? No, 13's enough. He's staring straight at you.
Okay, I just stuck my head round the door. So has he seen that?
That is a very good question. He is staring straight at you.
I slowly crouch a bit and look to the side just to make sure he's not staring at something next to me.
There's nothing around you at your end.
Okay, I wave at him.
He doesn't respond.